Well, welcome back, and here at World Insight, let's go to our first story now. The United States is the world superpower, while Iran is an influential force in the Middle East. The two should therefore have plenty to talk about, ranging from regional stability to world oil prices. But to date, direct dialogue, even between low-ranking diplomats, are kept at a minimum. When Barack Obama took office last month, hopes were renewed for the two to be returned to the negotiating table. But to resume diplomatic ties, which have been cut off for nearly 30 years, will be no easy task.
Late on Monday, Iran launched its first domestically made satellite into orbit.
It is a big event. In my opinion, it's a new chapter in the country's science and technology. It will promote Iran's position in the world and will also give our scientists and experts plenty of opportunities.
Iranian television says the satellite will circle the Earth and send telemetric reports to the Space Center in Iran. The US, UK, and France voiced concerns that the technology could lead to ballistic missile development. The satellite launch coincided with the 30th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution, which transformed Iran from a constitutional monarchy backed by the US to an Islamic republic. One of the revolution's byproducts was tension between the US and Iran. In 1980, Washington cut diplomatic relations with Iran and executed sanctions against it. The bilateral ties reached their lowest point when in January 2002, George W. Bush branded Iran part of an axis of evil. Even before leaving office, he warned,
"So they're still dangerous, and Iran is still dangerous."
But America's new president, Barack Obama, has taken a break from his hardline predecessor.
But that we will extend a hand if you are willing to unclench your fist.
He has said that he's prepared to pursue direct diplomacy with Iran without preconditions.
I do think that it is important for us to be willing to talk to Iran, to express very clearly where our differences are, but where there are potential avenues for progress.
Recently, avenues for regenerating bilateral ties have opened. And on February the 4th, senior officials from major powers met in Germany to discuss the conflict with Iran over Tehran's nuclear program. The gathering was the powers' first meeting since Obama took office.
As for U.S. foreign policy towards the Middle East, there are two aspects demanding a review. One is the contraction of the range of anti-terror campaigns, so as to concentrate strikes against Al-Qaeda and its affiliated groups. The other is to improve relations with the Muslim world. These all require cooperation from Iran, as there is seldom a regional hotspot without Iran's role.
On January the 16th, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was invited to attend the extraordinary Arab League summit discussing the Gaza conflict. It was a rare case for Iran, which is neither a member nor an observer of the group. Since the 9/11 attacks, and especially after Saddam Hussein was toppled in 2003, Iran's regional influence has been increasing. The country has been an outspoken supporter of Shiite groups in the Middle East, such as Hamas. And Iran has traditionally had close ties with Arabic nations that hold strong positions towards Israel, such as Syria. As a Shiite Muslim country, Iran has an inherent connection with Iraq, where about 60% of the population is Shiite. And the country could act as an invaluable transit route for Western troops in Afghanistan. On Tuesday, Islamic militants blew up a bridge in northwest Pakistan, cutting a major supply line for NATO troops in Afghanistan. Facing supply challenges over routes through Pakistan, NATO's head says dialogue with Iran is crucial to fighting the insurgency in Afghanistan. To the U.S., trapped in the quagmire in Afghanistan and Iraq, Iran's cooperation could be a help. But the two countries have been at loggerheads over a range of issues in recent years. At the top of it is Iran's nuclear program.
By developing nuclear technology, Tehran wants Washington to recognize the legitimacy of its clerical establishment, not to pursue regime change, and it wants the U.S. to acknowledge the Islamic Republic's status as a regional power.
Diplomacy. Under Bush, the United States spearheaded efforts to isolate Iran. It imposed 3 rounds of United Nations sanctions for Iran's failure to stop nuclear enrichment, threatened military strikes, and talked of regime change. In a shift from Bush's policies, Obama has said he would seek much broader engagement with Iran.
We will, over the next several months, be laying out our general framework and approach. And as I said during my inauguration speech, if countries like Iran are willing to unclench their fist, they will find an extended hand from us.
U.S. policy towards Iran is under review. The Obama administration is weighing up its options on how to open a dialogue with Iran, who expects some fundamental changes.
We will welcome change only if it is fundamental and on the right track. Otherwise, the world should know that if anyone wants to speak with the Iranian nation with the same language, tone, morale, and envision-seeking spirit of Mr. Bush, even in different words, Iran's response would be the same on it used to give to Mr. Bush and his servants for several years.
But according to a brief policy outline on the White House website, Obama is prepared to offer Iran economic incentives to stop its nuclear program, and tougher sanctions could also be imposed if it refuses.
The U.S. won't change its policy target, that is to block the way that Iran acquires nuclear weapons. For Obama also sees Iran as a genuine threat. As the approach of his predecessor, composed by military threat and economic sanction, proves ineffective, Obama will make a change. First, he will engage Iran, setting no preconditions for direct dialogue, which shows his respect to Iran. Second, he will probably introduce the multilateral process involving major powers.
Western diplomats say the change in Washington could offer a once-in-a-generation chance for the two foes to end 3 decades of hostility. But on Wednesday, Iran didn't issue visas for a group of U.S. women badminton players to compete in the country. The move shows that after years of mutual hostility, even small steps in building confidence between Iran and the U.S. are difficult to take.
Well, Iran is now waiting to see whether an Obama administration will herald real change in U.S. foreign policy. Analysts expect that major plans will be held off until after Iran's June elections. And to Obama, a first-term U.S. president faced with an economic crisis, a Middle East conflict and wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, he may just find a standoff with Iran tougher to improve. This is World Insight. We'll see you again.